Hey everyone, thank you for joining Tarot Tuesday with Stars in Her Eyes. I'm Karen Monaco. This is Sebastian, and I'm here for another reading for this week, which is the week of, well, technically July 7th. Tarot Tuesday falls on July 9th. So we've had a ton of energy shifting over the past couple of weeks. I know a lot of us are feeling it. I myself have had a lot of shifting in my life. And so actually we're going to change it up. We're going to shift Tarot Tuesday a little bit. So here we are, obviously in our newer format where I'm no longer going live in our Facebook group, Sisterhood of Stars. I'm filming a Tarot Tuesday video and for our YouTube channel and then posting it over there for y'all to check out. So another shift that I'm making just for this week, and we'll probably play with it a little bit more over the upcoming weeks, is we're going to do a Tarot Tuesday based off of your sun sign. So it's not just 3 cards or 4 cards. It's not the traditional way I would do a reading. It's actually going to be covering all 12 signs of the zodiac and a card for each sun sign. If you missed it, I did recently post a video on how to find your natal chart, which I highly encourage you to do. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be playing with Tarot Tuesday, and sometimes the cards are going to be based off of your rising sign. So that sign that sits on the horizon the moment you drew your first breath. Other weeks, it's going to have something to do with your moon sign, or perhaps it's going to be what sign is in your midheaven. And if you're like, all of that is just jargon, it's just words to me, every single week I'm going to govern or kind of walk you through what everything governs, where to find certain elements of your chart, so that we can grow together and so that you can learn where to go within your chart to find absolutely essential information that's going to really help you grow and become your most authentic self. So we're going to get going. This week for the sun sign reading, I'm actually using one of my favorite decks. If you've had a reading with me, a tarot reading or an oracle reading rather, you definitely have probably encountered this deck. It's my favorite one to use. It's Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light. Fantastic cards, very deeply connected to spirituality, to the feminine, to the awakening process. So these cards don't play small. They're going to actually encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and to work a part of your path that you might not be digging as deeply into as you need to. For whatever reason, it's out of your comfort zone and that's just not where you go. Or right now, you're just offering a little bit more resistance than what you typically would. So we're going to get going with Aries. What I'm going to do is shuffle the deck 3 times. Here we go. It's a little different to shuffle cards live or for a video. So what do our Aries Sun sisters need to be mindful of over the next week? All right. So you ladies, you cannot dim to fit in. So this is asking you, actually, how are you dimming that light? How are you playing small so that you're kind of making everybody else feel comfortable in your wake? And this card is saying you absolutely are ready to step forward, to show who you truly are, to work with the gifts that you've been given. So beautiful card, Aries sisters. I want to hear from you. What's one small thing you're going to do this week to be your most authentic self, to beam the brightest? If you need some support or some encouragement, go ahead and let us know over in the Sisterhood of Stars or within this YouTube video, the comments. Part of the reason we have a tribe of women coming together is so that we can support each other in the work that's uncomfortable and that we're resisting, or if we have something that we really want to share with the world, but we know that our circle as it stands is not one that will be of total acceptance of it. Okay, so Aries, don't dim to fit in. One of the beautiful things in this is that we see 3 women. So symbolic of the pyramid, the triangle, the triple goddess, the mother, the maiden, the crone. So you guys, when you start shining a little bit brighter, just things are going to start happening. You're going to open up to all sorts of magic in your life. Okay. So from fiery Aries into really grounded Taurus. So Taurus sun, you guys got answer the call. So that yearning in your heart, that thing that keeps bubbling up to the surface that maybe you're suppressing, you're being asked to, pick up the phone, answer it, and start moving with it. So with this card, we see this woman kind of yearning, like looking out into the horizon. She has this desire to be herself, to shine that light from that Aries card. And she just needs to actually do a little bit of the work, one step at a time. And that's kind of a theme already with the two cards. So I'm wondering if that's an echo for our entire sisterhood, where maybe we're all with these shifts, these, cosmic shifts that are happening. Maybe things are, being rattled or being challenged so much that we can't see the way forward because it feels like such a giant leap. And if you're confident in taking the leap, take the leap. But if you need that baby step, go for that. Because from each baby step, what happens? The next step gets easier, it gets a little bit bigger until you are running full on into that purpose. So into our Gemini girls, birthing a new age. So this is all about what you are creating, what you have that desire to put out into the world. You're dreaming a whole new world into being. So we talk frequently about our web of light. And Gemini, you're stepping forward into this way where it's no longer just about you. When you shine your light, when you start putting out your magic into the world, you become this kind of beacon that attracts other women and other, not just women, if you're working with men, attracts them to you so that then you're activating their light. And that's what creates that big, beautiful web. So in this card, we see the stone circle or the labyrinth. That's a great way to start working through the concept of birthing a new age, is to walk a labyrinth. If you're local here to Tampa, the Dali Museum has one that is cool. I've heard, I haven't been down there. Maybe I'll go there this week. That is quite therapeutic to walk. So you can check that out. All right. So from Gemini, we have our Cancer sisters, which it is their time, their shine time. Okay, so you ladies this week are coming up against some shifts that are not just yours. They're not just your personal karmic path. These are actually ancestral at times, and that's why it feels so much bigger than yourself, because you are here, you incarnated to do the work of healing, not just your own wounds, but of the women or the ancestors that came before you. So no small scale. Beautiful tip. And I use this quite recently in my life, is actually asking your guides to help you rewrite the ending of your story. So many of you know that I have ventured into my karmic path, and at times things that are happening here in this lifetime and in this world are echoes or are repeat patterns of what has happened previously in lifetimes for me. And so asking my guides to please show me an alternate ending, or to help me see things differently so that I'm not stuck in it. So if you are feeling like, why am I always coming up against the same crap over and over again, and you don't see the way out yourself, just simply ask. I love to ask, especially when I'm working with this deck, Mother Mary. I love to ask her to show me an alternate ending, to give me that miracle moment that will kind of help me break the pattern, help me to stop the cycle, help it to end with me. Okay, so that's our Cancer sisters. And now we work into our loyal Leo sisters. So you ladies are being asked to dance. So with all this shifting, you might be feeling like perhaps your vibration is really low. You aren't at the peak, you aren't at the high. And so to break free of some of that, you're being asked to dance, whether it be to physically dance, to put on some music and just move your body, or perhaps you're being asked to just move it in a way that feels authentic to you. So for me, I do like to dance, but I love running outside. I've also, obviously, I'm now 18 years into my yoga practice, so I move my body through that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take a dance class. You can just put on some crazy music at home. If you're into heavy metal, go heavy metal. If you're into country, go ahead and two-step by yourself. So that's kind of the energy of Leo right now. And this is such a great card for Leo because nobody shines like Leo, right? They are the women in our tribe that just beam, and they're they tend to be, if it's nurtured and they're not told to suppress it, they tend to be quite comfortable in the spotlight. And that's such a positive attribute, you know. So the flip side to that can be some arrogance, but usually, especially in women, what I see it is this willingness to be seen for who they are, and to not do what Aries is being told to stop doing. So Leo women don't dim. They just kind of radiate their love and their message. Okay, so Leo, and then we head over into Virgo. So Virgo suns, you guys are the perfectionists. You love to pay attention to detail. And you are really on your high side when you're serving. So you are the selfless servant in the sense that you love to give, and that's very therapeutic for you. And so your card is Pleiades, and this is a double mission for you. So the energy you're feeling right now is to help you level up into your purpose. So you're channeling and uplifting humanity. And that's so beautiful for Virgo, since your whole purpose, or that thing that fuels you, like I said, is that service. And so what you're being asked to do this week is to just understand that sometimes your work, your service, is through things like channeling your higher self, just sitting down, getting quiet, and just asking for some divine wisdom, asking for your guides to help you. But it's also knowing that, you know, our soul's purpose is not a job title or a career. Our soul's purpose, our life's calling, is an energy that we're here to share, or something we're here to teach. And what's really beautiful about that is we can share that message, we can teach that within any career, any job title, any role that you sit in. And I talk about that a ton in Soulpreneur, which is now a self-study program. So if you are interested in learning more about your life's purpose, go ahead and message me. Okay, I digress. So here we go. That was Virgo. We're going to hop over into Libra. And so Libra is the scales. They love balance and peace. And so their card is the Star Mother. And so how are you being asked to mother yourself, or how can you mother yourself? How can you comfort yourself in a way that is therapeutic? Okay, and so one of the things, you know, tap in, like if your own mother was a world-class nurturer and always was able to fulfill those needs, to always nurture your emotions, your physical needs, then maybe you think back as to what specifically she did to create that in your life. Now, unfortunately, some people have it on the flip side, where maybe their mom was unavailable, either because she worked a ton or because of her own wounds. And so if you were to be your own mother, how would you want her to address whatever it is you're going through? And so this is healing that mother wound for some of us, which runs deep. Whether you have, and you know, the one thing I feel like is not mentioned enough is that the mother wound doesn't have to be that your mom, you know, was not there for you. Some people can have wounds because their mom was always there for them. Or, you know, some people, it's like they hit right in the middle. Like there is no hard and fast rule as to what a wound is, or what specific, I guess, title we put on a wound. It's not, now I'm tripping over my words. So it doesn't matter the circumstances, because just because you had a perfect childhood doesn't mean that you don't have wounds from your childhood. So I'll just put a blanket statement on that, okay? So Libra, like I said, you're being asked to kind of hit the pause button, stop trying to please everybody else, stop trying to keep balance for the sake of all the people in your life, and actually ask yourself, what is going to bring balance back into my being, into my individual life? Great card for Libra. One of your life lessons. So Libra, we get Scorpio. I joke all the time because Scorpio is just a dark, and not bad, but like a deep energy. They swim in the shadow work. They are masters of resurrection. So things come up, they need to kind of detox and cleanse, and they do it quite fluidly and quite rapidly. It doesn't hold them back or down for long. And so they are actually being asked to take all of that transformation and resurrection and embody the warrior woman archetype. So if you aren't afraid, Scorpio sister, what would you do? What jobs would you go after? What types of relationships? What would you let go of? And that's kind of an important part for Scorpio, because you constantly are seeing these areas of life that you're ready to kind of shift out, move on. And it's hard because the Scorpio's tendency is to kind of want to let it all go at one time. Sometimes that can be not as beneficial. So maybe shifting into the one thing you want to let go of, or the one thing that you are afraid of, and how you can attack it or how you can address it. Okay. Next sign is Sagittarius. So my absolute favorite sign in the zodiac. It's my midheaven. I just love the Sagittarius energy. It's open-minded. It's long distance travel. It's set the intention and go for it. And so you guys with those open minds are actually being asked to call on your council of light, so that open-mindedness, or that broad interest in so much, can sometimes become overwhelming. And so here you're being actually told to call on your council of light, to ask your divine guidance or your divine guides to narrow it a little bit, to help you see into the future. Also know that, with Sagittarius, that's a fire sign. And the Sagittarius is also the archer. And so they have their eye on the target. Well, sometimes the wind comes and takes that arrow and you don't hit the target. And so this is also a little bit about that belief in your helpers. This card specifically says helpers in the subtle realms. So connecting to those guides, angels, mentors, teachers, and understand that sometimes things are going awry by divine orchestration. This deck is based on the book Light is the New Black, and within it, Rebecca Campbell says, this isn't happening to you, this is happening for you. So Sagittarians, with whatever you're struggling with right now, if it's not going as planned, keep that in mind, that sometimes things are not going as planned, and that is actually a gift. And a lesson I learned all too well last year, and continue to learn. Ooh, Capricorn, very telling card. Capricorn, another one of my favorite zodiac signs. You guys are the workhorses. You're also the father of the zodiac. So you embody this strong and patient work ethic, this, the goat struggling up the mountain, but just continuing to trek along. So you're actually being asked to fill up your well. So this week is all about self-care. What can you do for yourself? Retreat, rest, refuel. And that could be something small, so tapping into your inner child, the play side. So what did you do? And this comes up all the time for us in here. So what is it that's going to bring that joy back into life? And I've said before, you can think about some of the things you did as a child. So that's one way of going about doing it. And you can go there, but you can also open yourself up to explore. Okay. So Capricorn, it's okay to take a break. And in fact, a break will serve you when you're trekking along and working tirelessly towards a goal. Sometimes taking that break will actually help you get further faster once you jump back on. Okay. Okay, so if you are watching this and see this little glitch between Capricorn and Aquarius, my webcam, I guess, has a 19-minute hard stop. So part 2. So last couple of signs. So we're hopping into Aquarius. Ooh, so this is my sun sign, and what we're being asked to do is to dig into the Akashic record, and understand that our guidance is divinely guided. So all of those syncs and signs, the numbers we're seeing, I know a ton of you are reaching out with the ear ringing. The desire to learn more about past life, about histories and wounds. We are actually being told that this is an ideal time this week to dig into that. So I know myself and at least 1 or 2 other sisters recently did the Rebecca Campbell. I know I'm talking about her a lot in this one, but it is her deck, so it feels appropriate. We just recently did Rebecca Campbell's Cosmic Blueprint, and that is still available. So I will post that resource over in Sisterhood of Stars if you're interested, because that's all about digging into your Akashic record, meeting who your guides are, and just having fun with, past life scenarios, issues, lessons, etc. And understanding once again, so this is somewhat of an echo for that Council of Light card we previously had, is that our guides are all knowing, they are always working. And so really it's time to kind of level up our faith to get some extra information that will help us on our path. But it is about faith for us this month, Aquarius. And so if you're an Aquarius, I love to meet fellow Aquarians because we're a quirky group. And so final sign is Pisces. So Pisces, they are the fish of the zodiac. They are deeply connected to transcendence and ascension. And your card is Align Your Life. So this week you are having to dig into what is no longer, what you no longer are going to hold space for. So this is a big week for you to dig into that big soul's mission and look at the parts of your day-to-day or your social circle and figure out what is not meeting the standards that you need them to meet. That's not to say, kick people to the curb, but knowing that instead of fueling energy into people, places, things, tasks, jobs that don't fulfill you, you can shift that focus. So maybe it's not eliminating them completely, especially when it comes to people. That's a hard thing, but maybe shifting it over towards something that does serve that purpose, that does give you that deeper sense of fulfillment. Okay, so that was the 12 cards of the zodiac. Please let me know your sun sign, your message, and what you're going to do this week to get unstuck, if that's how you're feeling, or to work with your card. Tomorrow or on Wednesday, I'm going to post a picture of all 12 of the cards if you want a closer up vision of them. But I hope you loved this new spin on Tarot Tuesday. I look forward to hearing from you. All right, bye.